A little over 15 years ago, Pokemon Red and Green were released in Japan for the original Nintendo Game Boy. Something to keep in mind is that in 1996, the Game Boy was getting old fast. Indeed, it had been available for nearly 7 years at that point. However, no one, especially the developer Game Freak and Nintendo themselves, could have imagined the impact that these deceptively simple games would have. Pokemon Red and Blue took the world by storm in the late 90s, and it's not hard to see why. While certainly not the best looking games ever, even by Game Boy standards, the gameplay was so rock solid that it didn't even matter. In true RPG fashion, you start out on a long quest to be the best, the Pokemon Master. To do so, you must capture a team of Pokemon, train them up by fighting other Pokemon trainers, take on the 8 gym leaders of the region of Kanto, and finally take on the Elite Four to become the best trainer in the world. The real strength of these games was the sheer amount of play and replayability. There are 151 Pokemon available, spread across the 2 games for you to catch. A fairly deep and engaging story, the ability to battle as well as trade your Pokemon with friends, and enough areas to explore and opportunities to level your Pokemon up that will allow you to sink hundreds of hours into the games. While graphically, the game certainly isn't anything impressive for something released in the late 90s, what was and remains to be a high point of the games is the excellent music. The 4 channels of sound available on the Game Boy kick into overdrive while playing Red and Blue, a true testament to the excellent job they did. Who can forget the music that played when you finally reached the end of your journey, only to be beaten to the punch by a certain rival? Something that really gave the games added life was the addition of the trading and battle functionalities. While the link cable port on the Game Boy had been used in the past, Red and Blue really stepped it up a notch by allowing you to not only battle your friends and fight fairly with your Hax or Mewtwo, but also trade. This was very unique for the time, and it allowed you to swap Pokemon with a friend, allowing you to not only bolster your team, but also complete your Pokedex. In a tradition that started with Red and Blue and continues to this very day, every generation of Pokemon games consists of not 1, but 2 games that are identical in most ways except for the variety of Pokemon available in each. That way, you had incentive to buy what basically amounted to the same game twice to be able to get all the Pokemon you could, or at least find a friend who had the other version of the game to trade with. The battle system in Red and Blue is easy to grasp the basics of, yet very deep and fulfilling if you really want to get into it. When you encounter a wild Pokemon, or another trainer, the game launches into a turn-based battle mode. Your Pokemon is able to use one of the 4 available moves that it can learn as you level up, allowing you to entirely customize what it knows for offensive, defensive, or support roles. All Pokemon have weaknesses as well, meaning that it's probably not a good idea to take on that Fire-type Charizard with your Grass-type Venusaur. However, that's certainly not the whole story, as you're probably not going to have much luck against that Charizard with a Water-type Magikarp either, no matter the type advantage. As the 5th generation of games, Pokemon Black and White, are released today, I found it fitting to take a look back at the games that started it all. Red and Blue launched off a massive franchise of games, movies, a TV show, toys, and probably one of the largest collection of merchandise I've ever seen. If you've never played the originals, you definitely owe it to yourself to take a look at some of the best games of all time.